Well, on tonight's episode of This Old Crown Vic, I'm going to try to track down a fuel leak. So for the last, I don't know, month, I've been kind of periodically smelling fuel in this thing, and I just figured it was like everything else in my life, just bird box it, ignore it, maybe it'll fix itself. Well, guess it hasn't fixed itself. Last couple days I've come outside, whole garage just reeked like gas, really bad. So today I left, I pulled out of the garage in the driveway, I forgot something, so I ran back inside. I saw two little puddles towards the back, so I smelled them, definitely gas. So when I got to work, I just peeked underneath and I could see around the fuel tank where it's definitely been leaking gas. Just gonna go ahead and jack it up, get a better look at it, and see what we gotta do. Well, figure before I get too crazy with jacking it off and whatnot, I've kind of read some online forums and stuff, and people were saying if you think it's a fuel tank, check the top of the fuel tank and bottom of the floor pan, because they might have drilled shit in there for equipment. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and check that before I get too crazy with it. You know, what a mint design. Just, you have this nice dash, there, and then, oh, trunk release right in the fucking middle. Yep, couldn't figure out anything else to do with it, so there it goes. Of course, gotta have the key on for it to work. Got the OSHA approved wheel stops. Check the old trunk skis out here. Well, it doesn't smell like gas yet in here. Let's see. No holes there. No holes, and it doesn't smell like gas at all. Well, of course it can't be that easy. We'll take a look. Well, here's what we got. So I see wet areas through the bottom of the tank. That side, over that side. Basically right where these fucking straps go. We look up, nothing coming down there. I can't see anything coming down there. This is just like an evap hose. It's like on both sides. You can't see anything coming down. I mean, there's no fuel lines or anything. What I found fucking looking in here, I think it's all fucking rotted out. Cause when I poked my fucking finger right there, it started to fucking push through. And I'm like, idiot, stop before you poke a literal fucking hole in the tank. So I think literally the only thing holding this fuel tank together is grime and shit right now. Fucking mint. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to JB weld that. The other side's basically the exact same way. You just look in there and it's just shit holding it together. So I think the fuel tank's just leaking. I mean, I can't see any other lines, and I don't know why it would be like that on both sides if it was something other than the fuel tank. Fuel lines up there, fuel pumps right there. Also, mint. This little fucking, you don't need that fucking little clip that I just literally touched and fell apart. That's the little clamp that holds the lock in there. You don't fucking need a lock. Door that looks mint. Everything else looks mint. I mean, I don't know what else it would even be. So that $100 China fucking Rock Auto fuel tank, here I come. Well, we're back to day 2 here. Fuel tank, environmental destruction, fucking vehicle repair. I still wanted to drive the vehicle for the rest of the week, so I didn't take it apart or really anything that day. So today what we're just gonna do is take the fuel tank down. Basically plan on it going as shitty as the exhaust manifold job did. So therefore everything's probably gonna fucking break coming out. So I should probably just go to the junkyard, take a Sawzall to the back half of a Crown Vic and just fucking bring it home and weld it back together. Yeah, I figured instead of ordering a fuel tank and the retainers and the straps and everything else that common sense would say that you only need, figure why not save myself the disappointment of not having it go that easy. Take it apart, then order all the shit, then go plan on taking it and putting it back together in one day, and then being pissed as other shit breaks along the way that day. Same amount of being pissed, just different days involved. What I want to do is take the shit stain, move it outside, probably the backyard, fucking leave it out there to die. put this thing over here, and then put my Silverado right here, so that way I can still drive it to work without being freezing cold. Tougher in Alaska, fucking cold starts in the morning every day. Oh, whore! Of course, I forgot until I got back in the garage, and I left the old jump pack right in the back for this exact reason. Is it the shitty old... Actually, I don't think it's that bad battery. It's called dead a couple times, though, just from sitting here, not leaving it tended and doing like, leaving the key on and shit like that. Yep, jump pack should be still decently good. Oh, try that out. Oh yeah. Apparently I'm a clown and hooked up the air fuel sensor to the fucking headlight shits. So I gotta have the headlights on and I want the air fuel ratio sensor to work. Not a big deal. Lancashire Performance at its finest, though. Yeah, and I figured out if I like turn down the dimmer, it like shit out and says voltage and stuff. Likes that. Likes that a lot, I believe. Better. The variable speed's fucking fast idle stick. Oh, not that fast. There we go. Getting nice and warmed up, like. The original bog starts up. Huh. Well, I got to pull it in real nice like here. There's one win. I opened the fuse box without breaking it, so that's a good sign. You know, maybe this one's gonna be different than the last job. Of course, they don't tell you what the fuses or relays are, so I guess I'm gonna take the old look-see in the old owner's manual there and see if they can help us out. Oh wait, it probably doesn't even have an owner's manual. Oh man, got an owner's manual though. Okay. Crown Slicktoria, where are y'all fuses? Oh, I had it. Oh, there we go. Where we at? Fuel pump relay 203. Relay 203. Minty. So we'll just pull out relay 203, fire it up till it dies, and then there's the fuel pressure drain. Apparatuses. I was hoping they laid it out the same direction, like if it was just like fucking that, but of course it's not. This guy here. Yeah, you don't need to not fucking fuck the relay up. Stay. Don't worry about that screeching sound. Apparently it's normal and it likes to do that. It's fine. It's supposed to do that. Now apparently the starters on these things, when they get kind of old and dry, the bearing, the Bendix or whatever the fuck that little thing is that spins around, the spinny thing, gets kind of dried out and makes a little noisy noise. But bird box the noise and should be fine. We got got Santa Claus. Like coffee going here, probably cold. Yep, definitely cold. So glad I'm gonna be laying in that. And all right, well, without further ado, I'll quit fucking around. So this is a shop rule that we always abide by here at Blankenship Performance, and that is always grab the most OSHA approved tools or equipment that you have laying around. Now what that means is, you know, if I was at a dealership, this might not be approved by OSHA if they walked in and saw me laying under the car with one of these as the only thing holding me, the car from rolling over my fucking nuts. But this is more approved than not having a block there at all. As long as it's better than, you know, something else that you would be doing instead, it's more OSHA approved than the other thing, so you're good. And you want to get her jacked up high enough to put some real jack stands under there. By real, I mean China's finest from Harbor Freight. In case you were thinking about putting these little bitches on there, don't fuck around with that. At Blankenship Performance, we pride ourselves in just absolutely rocking the fuck out of the car. Make sure it doesn't fall off those jack stands. Haven't had them follow me yet. Literally, pump it to the side of the car, lean on the back. So you make sure that bitch ain't going nowhere, because we're gonna need this jack. Take your D-Wall here. Preferably drop these and kick them around the garage floor so you can't find them. Makes it a little more fun. See, what I like about this old DeWalt is, first off, I didn't pay for it. Second off, it's got just enough torque to take these lug nuts off, which in my theory means it's got just enough torque to tighten them down to specs. So it all works out mint in the end. So there's just some 10 millimeters to hold the filler neck on. Oh, that came right off. Part of doing this video is reminding myself where the shit went, because I never really fully pay attention. I just gorilla rip it off and go from there. Huh. I'm waiting for the fucking punchline on this thing. I know all I've done is pull a relay and these couple bolts out. Something's gotta break soon. Well, just because why not, and as far as I know it likes it. Spray everything with PB Blaster up here. Fuck it. Likes it all. Well, you let it get on the paint too. It helps rust prevention. I just want to document my luck so far so I could share how things are going, because so I can look back on it and be like, you know what, this was supposed to go really well. I got this off without breaking it. So that's a massive, massive win so far. It just slides on, and then this little clip goes up in there. How this didn't break off, I don't know. But I just carefully kind of got at it with a pick and a bunch of PB Blaster. Just came right off. So we got to take that bolt off still. Back up in there, hidden. And then apparently this pushes into the tank and you rotate it like 25 degrees and then it should pull out or something sciencey, magical wizardry, stuff like that. So we'll try and get that bolt off, break that off, and then see what it does. So far not bad. I found there were some more bolts on this side, but that was luckily after I got this B off here. Just one bolt that went in, holds this little guy in. It said push it in, turn it, and as soon as I tried doing that, this was like still on, so I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I should take that off. So I'll mess around with that and see if I can get it to come out or whatever. Alright, a little update. Still have the tank out. I took these bolts out and figured out that I didn't need to. I don't know if this is just on my car or like what the deal is, but like there's like this stupid little plastic piece right there that just like spins around. Well, kind of spins. It's not allowing me to push the freaking fuel filler neck in. So what I'm thinking is, because like I can't get this to go down enough to twist it so it'll come out. I'm hoping maybe I'll just drop the tank down a little bit, and then maybe this will give me enough room. I can just kind of let this dangle around. And I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, that's what's stopping that from coming out though. So I don't know if I have to cut that off or what the hell that stupid thing is. This connector goes, this wiring goes up top. I can get the connector off up there, so I'll have to fill around with that. And then the other wiring, apparently this goes up in there and there's a connector in there somewhere. Hopefully, if not, it's about to get snapped off. But people cut those to do the fuel pump right here. But I'm like, if the tank's coming down anyways, obviously there's no point in cutting those, so. What a trash design. Why would you design that like that? I don't know. I know they designed this thing not to fail, but it's like, again, you know, obviously they do, you know, down the road, not thinking about the guy that's gonna have this thing 17 years later or whatever the hell it is. Well, send it off. Well, that wasn't too bad. That one just required a little bit of a tension test on the old factory wiring there. Or just a, oh, it's on the other one. Some tab you just push in and just yank the fuck out of it and it comes off. So I'm assuming I have to undo that connector there. And if I do, I think I should just be able to like undo this hose down here and just leave this on it, on the tank. Well, obviously I'll have to put it on the new one, but that should at least be able to get it down. And I guess the connector's up there. It's all the way up there. So I sprayed the PB on the old nuts there. So we'll see how hard those are to snap off. So you can see there's a little bit of a clearance issue right here with the old brake line in the way. Well, here's how we turned out on these. The stud actually backed itself out of the little retainer, which is awesome because I wasn't sure how that was going to actually happen. So we got the straps off. Now we'll just start lowering it down and seeing what falls the fuck off. A lot of debris came down with it too, so there's antique dirt up in there. Probably original from 2003 or 4 or whatever the year this thing is. So after just completely fucking with this stupid piece of shit for an obscenely long amount of time, you just snap it off. So that fixes that. And I don't know if anything else is in the way, but I'm just gonna let the fucking thing down and let it rip it all out because at this point I really don't give a fuck anymore. All right, got it down a little bit of the ways, and it allowed the filler neck enough room to move around, and so I could yank her out of there. Well, we got the old tank out. You can kind of see, I'm assuming that's where the leak was from. It's like down both sides because it's just pouring out of there. Yep. Got the tank off. I guess we'll get the pump off of there. And associated wiring and this shit. But it looks like I'm gonna be able to JB that back together. It took another like 20 minutes even after I broke this off to get that freaking stupid thing off there. All this other stuff looks like it's just held in by clips and stuff, so hopefully if I get a decent enough Chinese fuel tank, might be able to reuse some or most or all this or whatever. Yep, there's almost no fuel in it because, you know, I tried to at least get that fucking part right. So I had to make sure I order the right stuff, I guess. But basically, I think I'm just gonna order a new pump. My luck, I'll get the shit back in, the pump shit's out a week later. I don't feel like doing this again. All right, here's how we ended up. This is the Trials and Tribulations Blankenship Performance fuel tank replacement. Okay, so whatever this stupid fucking like bathtub toy is. Okay, so that pulls out, doesn't twist out. So yeah, that just pushes in there. So more JB Weld happening on this. This little bitch does twist out. Well, it twists like half a turn, then pulls out. Whatever the fuck that stupid ass little fucking other bathtub toy is. So, yeah, you just kind of put that in there, and then it goes about half clock over there. Oops, about half clock over. So yeah, and nothing went on this one anyways, on this little thing. Guess there's just air coming in or some shit. I don't fucking know. Then more JB Weld on this end. Now for the next step in the factory repair process is correcting the factory defects by using more factory parts. This will be a two-parter. I gotta fix that one first, and then I guess a couple days later I'll fix this one. So we go to our factory repair drawer here. See what we got. Plastic, steel, epoxy for metal, concrete, silicone, gear sealant, dielectric grease, valve grind compound. I think we're gonna have to go with the old classic JB Welds. Brand new fucking thing too, mint. Yeah, that's probably the best thing. Just use the old JB Weld keys on it. I did a pre-soak of brake parts cleaner. It's actually part of the instructions from Ford to spray it down with brake cleaner first, let it dry just a tad, and then mix the JB Weld up. And then I have everything, you'll notice, kind of placed perfectly here, so it's a factory mold with the oh, what's this? Oh, get everything in perfect position once it's all mounted up. So I got phase 1 of the factory replacement, Ford approved, warranty repair approved fix for that broken piece. So it's cold as shit outside, so it's probably gonna take like 7 days for it to actually cure. Well, here we are, I think 2 weeks later. Got the old new tank going, fuel pump rebuild. We got a new OEM Ford fucking bathtub toy for this side. Globbertron on there, which I'm pretty sure I stuffed like the inside of it, so I'm pretty sure whatever that's supposed to be isn't gonna flow. Not a big deal though. Yeah, I really don't know what the fuck that thing is. Probably the check valve to fucking fill the gas tank up. Quality. Probably just gonna go ahead and cut it right over there. If we have any problems, I'm trying to think what to do. Got these Ford OEM, actually fucking Ford little pieces that, I guess this is what goes in the stupid ass body. And a brand new Ford quality. It says 4 to 6 hours before manipulating it, and it's kind of under some tension. I'm gonna leave it sit like that for the 4/6 hours, I guess. Probably not fuck with it, so my job's actually done for the day. I've got the clips in. About the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. Was literally just push out this way, take a pry bar and smack it that way, falls out. And they actually weren't even really bad. But I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know, $8. I figured they were gonna break. And then this is how, I guess, the fuel tank straps go in. Fuel tank strap goes in that way, and then you just push this bitch in there. And then tension just holds it, you know, it'll just be in, you know, all the way in there, not flush even. And then just tension holds that up. Makes sense. Cool. I like how I can see the indent where that like piece that I'm JB welding like was. So it probably is gonna fucking break, but oh well. At least I tried, I guess. We're out here next day. I think we're ready to assemble. Got the I don't want to touch it really, but it looks like it's staying in place. We got zip tie here where it's supposed to be, factory. Got the nuts from the feed store, 16 cents instead of $8 a piece like Ford wanted. Put these in first, and that way once it's all ready to assemble, I can just zip it on up. Quality, country of origin. Decided to just go ahead and get a new one of these bad boys. Should be interesting. I don't really know what the best way to get this boy in here is. Good boy. Probably not the way I'm doing it. Big flap. Fold the bitch in. There's going. Dorman. Fix all. Like that, kind of. That looks like we got it all the way in. It was actually kind of hanging up from one side, but you know, when you look in there, it's basically mostly round. When I pulled this part back again, it like was kind of folded out still, so I just wanted to double check, I guess. So we got about halfway up. There's a fuel pump connector that goes on top of the tank. I should have just plugged that in while it was down, because it just plugs from the fuel tank or the fuel pump on top of the tank thing. And I got the fuel pump connector fished up into the frame. I just put the filler neck back on because I remember I couldn't get this thing out without dropping the tank down a little bit. Probably can do it, but I couldn't figure it out because it's got that stupid plastic piece in the way. So that looks like it's gonna go up and clear just fine. So from here, I guess I'm just gonna jack the tank up a little bit at a time and check and make sure nothing's getting snagged or broken. Got the evap hose and connector all back in. Make sure to use long live zip ties. You don't want to be doing this again. Without further ado, I think we'll be putting the straps on and bolting her up. All right, I think we're done underneath. Trying to get a view. I guess I can't get a view, but I left the long studs, you know, intact because when I probably have to get this thing back out to do the fuel pump that I didn't replace, I might not have to buy new studs. It fits as expected. China junk fuel tank and China junk. The straps, they like look like they're stretched the fuck out, so I'll probably be replacing those because they're like really stretched the hell out. But it's all the way up in there. Everything looks like it's fitting good, so I just got to reconnect the filler neck and fill it up and see if it starts and doesn't leak all over the place. Well, folks, we're not in Straight Outta Compton, but we're in Straight Outta Fucks to Give. Did the old, that's fucking kinked as shit, and we got a zip tie holding that fucking thing on because that is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever seen, just like everything else I've ever done on this car. So everything else looks hooked up good. I'm trying to think of anything else that I might have forgot. I don't know. I can't think of anything. We didn't unhook the battery, just the fuel pump fuse. That neat, it looks like it's working. Kind of ran like ass for a second. I'm not really surprised. Seeing as how I actually ended up filling up the fuel pump strainer with PB Blaster. You don't need to not run the engine on PB Blaster. And I can't see anything pouring out from here, so I'm just gonna call it good.